She called it overtime. I called it betrayal. The night I served divorce papers at the hotel. So, picture this, my wife, the queen of late-night work, comes home with that classic excuse. But little did she know, I had a little surprise up my sleeve. I decided to crash her little late-night escapade with a set of divorce papers at the hotel. Talk about a plot twist, right? Buckle up, folks, because this story is about to get wild. Cheaters? Nah, they're like that one sock you lose in the laundry, totally not worth the effort to find again. No second chances here, folks. So, here we are, hanging out in this wild ride called life. But let me ask you this, do winners and losers really exist, or is it all just one big cosmic joke? So, picture this, my wife, the queen of excuses, says she's working late. Naturally, my detective instincts kick in, and I decide to play the role of the undercover husband. I follow her, camera in hand, documenting her every move like a reality show gone rogue. Fast forward to the grand reveal, I show up at the hotel with divorce papers in hand, ready to drop the mic on this whole charade. Talk about a plot twist, right? So, here I am, a 35-year-old dude, and my amazing wife, Linda, who's 36, and we've been rocking this marriage thing for a whole decade now. Can you believe it? 10 years of love, laughter, and probably way too many inside jokes that only we get. So, our relationship? Yeah, it's got a few quirks that would make your grandma raise an eyebrow. So, picture this, I'm a stay-at-home dad, juggling toys and snack time like a pro. Who knew parenting could be such an adventure? So, here's the scoop, we didn't exactly map this out like a treasure hunt, but somehow, life threw us a curveball, and guess what? It turned out to be the best choice we could have made. So, picture this, we just welcomed twins into our wild little world, and then my wife gets this golden ticket to run a regional branch in a totally different part of the country. I mean, who in their right mind would pass that up? It was a no-brainer. So there I was, happily employed, but then I had this light bulb moment, why stick around when my partner's big move and shiny promotion were about to rain down some serious cash? I mean, who needs a paycheck when you can ride the wave of someone else's success, right? So, I waved goodbye to my job and jumped into the unknown, all for the love of a fatter wallet. So, we packed our bags and bid farewell to the city where we first crossed paths and tied the knot, and off we went to a new place that was buzzing with all the metropolitan vibes. So, there I was, diving headfirst into the job hunt, all fired up and ready to conquer the world. But then, after a few rounds of what's your greatest weakness? And can you work weekends? We had a family powwow. And guess what? The verdict was in, I was officially crowned the stay-at-home parent extraordinaire, tasked with the noble mission of wrangling the kiddos instead. Who needs a 9 to 5 when you've got snack time and nap time on your side, right? At the time, it felt like a pretty sweet deal, and honestly, I can't say I'm totally against it now. But let's be real, there's a little part of me that's nostalgic for that warm, fuzzy feeling you get from a job that actually makes you happy. Well, that's old news now. I've totally mastered the art of homebody living. Who knew I could become a pro at lounging around? So, picture this, I've been diving headfirst into a world of skills, like a kid in a candy store. I've even been spinning up short stories and getting them published on these snazzy online literary platforms. Talk about a little slice of fulfillment pie, right? Yum. So, there I was, contemplating the big leap into stay-at-home dad life, and my mind was racing with all sorts of wild thoughts. One of the biggest worries? Would my wife turn into some kind of money-making superhero and forget about the guy who used to bring home the bacon? You know, the classic who wears the pants dilemma, but with a twist. You might think you've got someone all figured out, but then life throws a curveball, and suddenly you're left wondering if you really know them at all. It's like a plot twist in a movie you didn't see coming. Who knew a little lifestyle shake-up could reveal so much, right? Money has this magical ability to turn folks into someone completely different, doesn't it? One minute they're your buddy, and the next, they're strutting around like they own the place. It's like watching a superhero transformation, but instead of a cape, they've got a wallet full of cash. Who knew green paper could have such a wild effect on personalities? You wouldn't believe it if I told you. Phew. Lucky me, I didn't catch her pulling the boss card on me too often. You know, I've been thinking, my gift-giving game was like a surprise party every time, while her spending on me feels more like a budget meeting. But hey, that's honestly my only real beef with the whole situation. So, here I am, tapping away at my keyboard, and you know what? It all boils down to that second complaint. Funny how life works, right? So, Picture this, she's the captain of a massive ship, steering a crew of 100 through stormy seas. With all the chaos swirling around, it's no wonder she's burning the midnight oil more often than not, making sure everything's shipshape and Bristol fashion. Sometimes, it feels like all those grand plans we hatched after finally getting the kids out of the house with a nanny or a relative just go poof. Cancelled, just like that. Isn't parenting a wild ride? Ugh, that bit really gets under my skin. It's like we barely get to hang out anymore, and it's driving me a little bonkers. So, here we are again, living the life of a husband to a career-driven wife. It's like a roller coaster ride, thrilling, but boy, can it be a bit frustrating at times. So, here's the deal, working late is usually a legit excuse, right? But honestly, I'm starting to think it's just a fancy way of saying, I'm up to something. So, here I am, minding my own business, thinking everything's peachy with Linda. I never had a reason to doubt her loyalty, until recently, when I stumbled upon something that made me raise an eyebrow. Cue the dramatic music. So there I was, my wife flipping through her phone like a pro, showing me some photos. And then, out of the corner of my eye, I spotted this vibrant, nightlife pic in the little sliding photo bar at the bottom. It was like a neon sign saying, hey, look at me. So, here's the scoop, we don't hit the clubs as a duo. I mean, I wouldn't have been totally opposed to her dancing the night away with her pals instead of me, but funny enough, she never even mentioned it. Classic, right? So, picture this, it was a Saturday, I think, and the night before, she had been out burning the midnight oil. Naturally, my brain started cooking up some wild theories. Well, I kept my lips zipped, you know? Not a peep from me. So there we were, ready for a movie night, and she decides to pop some popcorn. Classic move, right? But while she was busy with the microwave, I thought, why not have a little fun? I snatched her phone and dove into her gallery like a detective on a mission. Who knows what treasures I might find? You won't believe it, but yep, those snapshots were snapped right in the heart of a club. Party vibes and all that jazz. So there she was, rocking a dress that could barely be classified as a dress and clutching a drink like it was the Holy Grail. Talk about making an entrance. So, picture this, there's this dude right behind her, practically breathing down her neck, with his chin just chilling on her shoulder like it's the most normal thing in the world. Awkward much? In that picture, she was all smiles, looking like she just won the lottery or found the last slice of pizza at a party. You won't believe it, but in a flash of brilliance, I snapped a pic, sent it to myself, and poof. Deleted the evidence like a magician disappearing a rabbit. Ta-da. So, there I was, feeling like something was definitely up. I mean, I could have just marched right up to her and asked, but let's be real, I've been down that road before. You know, the one where you get gaslit so hard that you start questioning if your own reflection is lying to you? Yeah, not a fun trip. So, she waltzes back in, and I swear she must have caught me red-handed, slipping her phone back into its rightful spot. But guess what? Not a peep from her about it. Classic, right? So, there I was, casually snooping through her phone like a detective on a mission, and guess what? All the pictures had vanished into thin air. Poof. Just like that. Talk about a plot twist. Well, there you have it. She totally caught me red-handed, slipping the phone back into my pocket like a ninja. And let's be real, if she had to catch me in the act, those pictures were probably not winning any awards. So, after those late-night escapades, I decided to put on my detective hat and keep an eye on her. You know, just a casual observation, nothing creepy, promise. So, there I was, minding my own business, when I spotted her strutting back in with a totally different pair of heels. I mean, who does that? And then, as if that wasn't enough, she was popping minty gum like it was going out of style, but I could totally catch a whiff of something a little more spirited lurking behind that fresh breath. Classic, right? Ever since that moment, my curiosity has been doing backflips, and let me tell you, I won't rest until I crack this mystery wide open. So, here's the deal, when I ask her what's going on, it's like my personal GPS for navigating this maze. But, oh boy, it's also her golden ticket to pull a fast one. She can just whip up a little fib and then play detective, covering her tracks like a pro. Classic move, right? By that time, she'd be practically a pro at not messing up. So, here's the deal, I'm not exactly hoping my wife is off playing the field, but after a decade and 2 little ones, I'm itching to uncover the truth. It's like I'm stuck in this suspenseful movie, and I just need to know if she's the hero or the villain. What's a guy got to do to get some clarity around here? If I get the green light, I'm outta here faster than you can say see you later. Hey folks, I need your 2 cents on this little pickle I've found myself in. Am I just being a drama queen here, or is there something to this? Let's hear it. Being a stay-at-home dad is no walk in the park, my friend. You've clearly rolled up your sleeves and put in the effort to build a cozy, supportive nest for the little ones. Hats off to you. Honestly, I totally get where you're coming from. You're not overreacting at all. What you're talking about isn't just some random gut feeling, my friend. So, picture this, a bunch of tiny red flags popping up like they're at a party, and when you squint and add them all together, they start to form a not-so-fun picture. Yikes. This party can't last till the end of time, folks. Hey there. Let's be real for a sec, you totally deserve a marriage that's all about peace of mind and a big ol' dose of honesty. No more tiptoeing around the truth, right? It's time to kick those worries to the curb and embrace the good vibes. Alright, folks. Here comes the first scoop. Buckle up. So, here I am, hitched to a cheater, and let me tell you, it took me ages to wrap my head around that little nugget of truth. I mean, seriously, how wild is that? Crazy town, population, me. So, she spills the beans about her past, saying she's been cheated on more times than she can count. Ouch, right? I totally get where she's coming from. Who wants to dive back into that emotional roller coaster? Not me, and definitely not her. So, picture this, I got duped not once, but twice by the same gal. Talk about a plot twist, right? You know, I was all about the second chances the first time around. I mean, who doesn't love a good redemption story? But when round 2 rolled in, I was like, nope, not this time, sister. And that, my friend, is precisely why Linda is getting a one-way ticket to the no thanks club. No second chances for her. Listen up, folks. Cheaters? Yeah, they don't get a do-over in my book. Let's all keep that in mind, shall we? No second chances for those sneaky folks. Alright, let's set the record straight here. I haven't pulled the trigger on a divorce just yet, and she's blissfully unaware that I've got her little secret tucked away in my back pocket. But trust me, I've been playing detective and have documented every sneaky move along the way. It's like I'm in my own reality show, and the plot twists just keep coming. I've noticed she's turned into a full-on phone bodyguard lately. So, here's the scoop, she's got this phone that's practically glued to her hip, and I'm left wondering if I've accidentally let slip that I'm onto her. I mean, I might have been a bit too obvious with my detective skills, but she's not exactly rolling out the red carpet for me to snoop. Meanwhile, she's burning the midnight oil at work, and I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, feeling like a sidekick in a mystery novel with no clues to follow. What's a curious mind to do? So, the kiddos are hanging out with me, which makes it a bit tricky to say, hey, let's go follow her. But guess what? I just stumbled upon this juicy tidbit, and let me tell you how it all went down. So, picture this, one week, we found ourselves in a bit of a tiff. Why, you ask? Well, I casually mentioned that I was thinking about diving into a master's degree to get my brain back in the game for when I re-enter the work world. Cue the drama. So, by the time I wrapped up the program, the kiddos would be just about old enough for us to finally kick back and let a babysitter take the reins for a good chunk of the time. Freedom, here we come. She wasn't too thrilled about it, let me tell you. She said I had signed up for the stay-at-home dad gig, and my sudden urge to hit the books was going to throw a wrench in our cozy little setup. Classic, right? She just wouldn't stop saying her income was enough for both of us, like it was all about the cash flow or something. As if money could solve everything, right? So, she flipped the script and started talking about the kids, claiming that my absence would probably mess them up in some way. Classic move, right? She was on a mission, hunting down excuses like a kid on a treasure hunt. Every little reason was fair game, and she wasn't about to let any slip through her fingers. She actually had the audacity to call it an unnecessary expense, and let me tell you, that part really got my blood boiling. So there we were, having a full-on shouting match, but you know, the kind where you have to keep it down because the little ones are snoozing upstairs. Classic, right? So, we kind of left that chat hanging, but hey, my plans are still very much alive and kicking. Well, it looks like her opinion is about to take a permanent vacation from my life. Bye-bye, unsolicited advice. So, after that epic showdown we had, I decided to take my talents to the guest room for some quality solo snooze time. So, picture this, it's the night after that epic showdown, right? And guess who waltzes back home later than usual? Yep, you guessed it, her. Talk about timing. So, there I was, all set for a cozy evening, when surprise. She forgot to mention she'd be pulling a late shift. Classic, right? So, she swings open the door like she's just won a prize, struts in, and zooms right to her room like it's the finish line of a marathon. Talk about a one-way ticket to cozy town. You know that moment when you catch a whiff of something and it hits you like a ton of bricks? Yeah, I could practically smell the alcohol lingering in the hallway she just breezed through. I mean, come on. I couldn't help but feel a wave of disappointment wash over me, realizing she had actually gotten behind the wheel after downing that much. What was she thinking? So, picture this, about 15 minutes later, I'm just chilling when I hear it, the unmistakable sound of her snoring echoing from her room. Classic, right? So there she was, shedding her clothes like a snake in a hurry, hopping into the shower for a quick rinse, and then it was straight to bed, no time to waste. Talk about a speedy bedtime routine. So, there I was, all set to grill her about why she waltzed in at the crack of dawn without a peep. But then, I spotted her phone just chilling on the bed, and I thought, aha! Time to play detective. And that's when I stumbled upon the treasure trove of secrets she'd been stashing away like a squirrel with acorns. Seriously, it was like opening a mystery box of surprises she'd been keeping under wraps the whole time. I dashed over to her gallery and just kept on scrolling like a kid in a candy store. If I'd had a bit more time on my hands, I would have played detective and matched up those images with the days she claimed to be burning the midnight oil. So, picture this, over the last couple of months, I spotted her 3 times, just chilling at dinner with a guy. And no, it wasn't some boring corporate shindig, just the two of them, all cozy like. What's the deal with that? So, picture this, it's a wild night at the bar, and she snaps a selfie that could make even the most seasoned influencers jealous. But here's the kicker, I can't quite tell if she's got a partner in crime or is just living her best solo life from that one little pic. Mystery alert. So there I was, in a full-on detective mode, scrolling through her social media like a caffeine-fueled squirrel on a mission. But guess what? Just like every other time, the evidence of her cheating was as elusive as a cat in a dog park. Seriously, where's the drama when you need it? But hey, I have to say, I was pretty clever to think about her emails right then and there. Oh boy, let me tell you, there was a whole lot going on there. Like, enough to fill a circus tent with all the wild and wacky happenings. Seriously, it was packed to the brim. So, there I was, scrolling through my emails like a detective on a mission, when I stumbled upon a message from a dude named Ethan. Who's this Ethan, you ask? Well, let's find out. So there I was, staring at this email with a subject line that was trying its hardest to sound all serious and corporate. But let's be real, it was just a sneaky little invitation for dinner. Who are we kidding here? So, there I was, scrolling through this email thread, and let me tell you, it felt like I stumbled upon a soap opera. These folks had been trying to set up a meeting for nearly a year, all thanks to the timestamp on his email signature. I mean, come on, how many coffee breaks does it take to get this thing rolling? He was a colleague in her line of work. So, I did a little snooping on LinkedIn, and guess what? Turns out he's not even in the same company as her. Plot twist, right? Well, it looks like they must have crossed paths in some other quirky way. So, picture this, a classic case of he said, she said, but with a twist. Turns out, there was absolutely zero proof that they were getting cozy under the sheets. Just a whole lot of speculation and raised eyebrows. Classic, right? So there I was, minding my own business, when I stumbled upon the moment that made my jaw drop. He casually suggested they meet at their go-to spot, and then she hit him with a one-word email, hotel. I mean, come on. That was the smoking gun I didn't even know I was looking for. So, I did a little digital sleight of hand and forwarded the whole shebang to myself from her email, then poof. Deleted it from her sent folder like a magician disappearing a rabbit. Ta-da. Let me tell you, saying I was mad is like calling a tornado a gentle breeze. It just doesn't cut it. Honestly, it's been making me lose my marbles. So, here we are, just a few days in, and guess what? I'm already chatting it up with a divorce lawyer. Talk about fast-tracking the process, right? Ugh, isn't it the worst when your gut feeling turns out to be spot on? Like, can't a person just enjoy a little blissful ignorance for once? Seriously, though, I'd rather be wrong and happy than right and grumpy. Hey up, just so you know, none of this is your fault. Seriously, you can take a breather and let that weight off your shoulders. Hey, I have to hand it to you. It takes some serious guts to face the music instead of just shoving it under the rug or convincing yourself that sticking around is the comfy option. Major respect. Here comes the second scoop. Alright, folks, gather round because I've got the grand finale of this wild ride. Buckle up. Divorces are like trying to untangle a pair of headphones after they've been in your pocket for a week, messy and frustrating, right? Alright, folks, gather round. So, picture this, I had this grand vision of a smooth sailing adventure, right? But let me tell you, it was more like a roller coaster ride than a leisurely cruise. Still, despite the bumps and hiccups, it mostly turned out just the way I wanted. Not too shabby, huh? Honestly, I think that's more than enough for me. Alright, let's wrap this up in a neat little bow. So, picture this, I'm just minding my own business when I stumble upon the shocking revelation that my wife has been playing a little game of hide and seek, only she's the one hiding and I'm the one seeking. I mean, who knew that her working late was actually code for dancing the night away at clubs and dining with Mr. Affair? I even went full detective mode, documenting her emails with this mystery man and snapping screenshots of her gallery pics that screamed, "I'm totally lying." It's like I walked into a soap opera, and let me tell you, the plot twists are wild. So, picture this, it's a Saturday, and I just received the divorce papers from my lawyer. What do? I send the kids off for a sleepover at their cousin's place. Because, let's be honest, I needed a little peace and quiet after that whirlwind of a week. So, the plan was to have the whole house to ourselves when she rolled in from work. So, there she goes again, spinning her classic tale about working late. And me? Oh, I just nod and play the part, saying, "Sure, no problem." Like a pro. Classic, right? When she fired off that message, I was convinced she was still stuck at the office, probably drowning in paperwork and dreaming of freedom. So, I cruised over there and snagged a sweet parking spot, just perfect for playing the role of the undercover spy, waiting to catch a glimpse of her zooming out of the office like a boss. So there I was, clocking in at exactly 6 p.m., the magical hour when she usually wrapped up her workday, unless the universe decided to throw a late-night curveball. And just like that, I spotted her car making its grand exit. So, there I was, camera in hand, ready to capture the moment like a pro. I even made sure to snap a pic with a timestamp, because who doesn't love a little proof of epicness, right? I figured that was just the regular hotel they always crashed at. It wasn't exactly the Ritz, just a run-of-the-mill hotel that didn't break the bank for our regular hangouts. Thank goodness it wasn't a total dump either. I pulled into the parking lot at the far end of the hotel while she casually parked her car. I decided to play the role of the stealthy sidekick, trailing behind her with a comically large gap between us. You know, just in case she turned around and caught me in the act of being a not-so-sneaky stalker. I was clutching those divorce papers like they were the last slice of pizza at a party, ready to serve her up a slice of reality right then and there. No room for denial, just a big ol' slice of truth coming her way. You won't believe this. There I was, playing the role of a stealthy ninja, tailing her up the staircase like a shadow. I mean, how did she not spot me? I was practically a ghost. Then, I watched her strut down the hallway, heading straight for the room where she and Ethan were about to have their little rendezvous. Talk about a front row seat to the drama. So, the moment that door clicked shut, I strolled right up and gave it a good knock. You know, just to keep things interesting. The hilarious moment came when I heard a dude ask who was at the door, and I got to pull off that classic move of saying it was room service. Classic, right? I was hanging out on the sidelines, making sure he couldn't catch a glimpse of me through that little peephole. Sneaky, right? So, there I was, wondering if this guy had a clue that she was hitched and could totally point me out in a lineup. Talk about a plot twist. And let me tell you, I was rocking an outfit that screamed I just rolled out of bed, definitely not the vibe for a room service gig. He swung the door wide open, peered to his left, then to his right, and when his eyes landed on me, he asked if I was the one who had the audacity to knock. Classic, right? So, I gave him a big ol' yes, whipped out my phone like a pro, and before he could even get a word out, I was all, "Hey, tell my wife to come to the door." He looked like he'd just seen a ghost when the news hit him. I don't know what got into me, but I just pushed right past him. And there was Linda, right by the bedside, taking off her jewelry like she was getting ready for a big night out, with her dress unzipped all the way down the back. Talk about a scene. So there I was, just minding my own business, when she spotted me and literally jumped like she'd seen a ghost. I mean, who knew I had that kind of effect on people? Well, let me tell you, I was the absolute last person she thought she'd run into. No doubt about it. So, there I was, just a few minutes earlier, tapping away on my phone like a modern-day Shakespeare, sending her a message. Little did I know what was about to unfold. So, This is what you call burning the midnight oil, huh? So there I was, my voice all wobbly like a jello on a roller coaster, trying to get those words out in the recording. I mean, deep down, I totally knew she was playing me, but actually catching her red-handed? That was like trying to swallow a bowling ball, just way too much to handle. The video was a quickie, not a marathon. Ethan just sat back and let the chaos unfold, like a spectator at a circus. No need to jump in and be the hero this time. So there I was, casually pulling out the divorce papers like they were a menu at a diner, and I said, "Here you go, take these." And guess what? She actually did. Talk about a plot twist. So there I was, dropping the bombshell like a pro. I told her it was donezo, that I'd been onto her little secret for way longer than she'd ever imagined. And just like that, I strutted out like I was in a movie, leaving her in the dust. Cue the dramatic music. And just like that, it was game over. So, I had a little chat with my brother and dropped the bomb that he'd be on kid duty again the next day. I filled him in on all the chaos that was about to unfold. Buckle up, buddy. Well, that was a piece of cake. So, she waltzed back home a good half hour after I did, plopped herself down on a different chair in the living room, and let me tell you, the awkwardness was thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. It was like she was waiting for the right words to magically appear, but spoiler alert, they didn't. So, there she was, looking all serious and stuff, and then she popped the question, "Can I explain?" So, I told her, "Hey, save your breath. No need to pull another fast one on me." And just like that, she went radio silent. Crickets, folks. Not a peep. All I said was, "Hey, how about you sign the papers and save us both a headache?" Simple, right? So, picture this, a week rolls by, and guess what? I finally wrangled that paper into a signature. Victory dance, anyone? Going through the divorce was a breeze, mainly because I played my cards right and kept a detailed log of all her sneaky shenanigans. Who knew being a part-time detective would come in handy? You won't believe this. I managed to play detective and cross-reference the images and emails with those late-night text messages she sent me, claiming she was working late. Classic, right? So there I was, a stay-at-home dad, juggling the kids while my partner was out painting the town red until the wee hours. Let's just say she wasn't exactly winning any Mom of the Year awards most of the time, even though she was, you know, the woman in the equation. So, guess what? I scored 70% custody of the little rascals. Not too shabby, right? I'm totally cool with it. And to top it all off, I hadn't been in the full-time job game for ages, so guess what? Alimony was knocking at my door. Oh, you better believe I was totally on board with that plan. I mean, who wouldn't want to turn a little alimony into a ticket for a master's degree? Smart saving and investing are my new best friends, and I'm already knee-deep in applications. Watch out, world, here I come. So, we came to the brilliant conclusion that selling the house was the way to go. I mean, it was just way too big for her to handle with the kids only popping in 30% of the time. And let's be real, I wasn't about to keep throwing my hard-earned cash at a mortgage for a place that felt more like a mansion than a cozy home. Time to cash in and split the profits. Well, let me tell you, I'm feeling like a champ over here. Divorce is no picnic, especially when little ones are in the mix, but hey, I didn't exactly roll the dice on this one. She went and broke my heart, and let me tell you, it stings like a bee. I loved her tons, but hey, life's still rolling on, right? It's either me, myself, and I living the good life, or I'm off on a quest to find someone who's even more awesome. Challenge accepted. You know, there's always that one person out there who's just a smidge better at everything, right? It's like they have a secret handbook on how to be awesome. Hey, that's awesome news. I'm super stoked to hear the legal stuff turned out in your favor. High fives all around. 70% custody and alimony? Wow, that sounds like a plot twist straight out of a reality show. Who knew family drama could come with a side of financial negotiations? Buckle up, folks, this ride just got interesting. Well, look who's showing up to the party. Justice, strutting in like it owns the place and doing what it does best. Cheers to that. Oh, I just adore how you're flipping that alimony into a golden ticket for your future. Talk about a savvy move. So, you're diving into the world of master's degrees, huh? Fancy. Whoa, talk about packing a punch. Man, it's a bummer that we ended up here, and I totally feel for you with all that weight you've been lugging around. But hey, you're spot on with that thought. Hey, guess what? You didn't lose. Seriously, it's not the end of the world. Just think of it as a plot twist in your epic adventure. Onward and upward, my friend. Hey there. Just a little reminder that there's someone out there who's even better than your favorite pizza topping. And sure, they might not waltz into your life at this very moment, but guess what? You're already rocking it solo and proving you're more than enough. Keep shining, superstar. Why on earth would someone toss aside years of trust and family like yesterday's leftovers for something so reckless and shallow? It's like trading in a cozy, warm blanket for a flimsy paper towel. What's the deal with that? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, we're all ears. Hey there. Thanks a bunch for hopping on board with us today in our little corner of the universe. Hey there, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and give that notification bell a good ol' ring-a-ding. You won't want to miss our next video adventure. Catch you later, alligator.